What's good, my loves? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I made a video. I've been taking some time to be with myself, to let things marinate, allow things to rise, and see where it is that I'm moving forward. Anytime I find that um, we're getting to those higher degrees of a zodiac sign, I'm feeling that really strongly, right? And the transition and movement into the next phase, the next, what sign? Zodiac sign. Yeah. Okay, so we are in Gemini season right now, and it's a lot about communication and, relationships and knowing things, learning things, and everything of that nature. But by the way, my name is Chanel. I am with Lizzie's Charm. I am a mystic, diviner, and hoodoo practitioner. Okay, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, and if you are returning, welcome back. All right, so yes, this randomly came up. I was in this class that I was having, and um, so I'm currently in this cohort for grief. A cohort is a gathering of folks to um, basically focus on one particular subject, right? And talk about it and learn with one another and banter off of one another. And what came up was in reference to what it is that I do was hexes. And that came up because a lot of the time when it comes to this work, one thing I notice strongly is someone is always wondering, concerning if someone hexed them, if someone put a curse on them, someone trying to jinx them, cross them up, right? And the reality of that is most of the time the answer is no, right? Because people are not just going around passing out hexes, right? It's not very often that you will actually find that a true generational curse has been placed upon someone through means of another, right? So if you are in a minority percentage of something, the chances of that taking place is even smaller. Okay, so but there's so much more to it than just that, right? So I wrote some stuff down while I was in class because they were coming up. Let me, my camera almost fell. Okay, so basically the title of this video is going to be You Have Not Been Hexed. Okay, and if you believe that you are dealing with someone who you feel may have possibly done that, right, or had someone in your past life who you feel may have possibly done that, for one, if you're around them, you need to get away from them. Two, if you're no longer around them, you probably want to ask yourself, does this person even care about me enough for, like, what are they doing with their life? How are they living their life for that to even be a thing? Okay, and a lot of times, most of the time, we are just crossing our own selves up, right? Because for one, it takes so much energy to hex somebody. Like, you have to be in this whole entire state within yourself, within your mind, within your emotions to carry that kind of work out. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of somebody might tell you different, but from what I know, it requires a lot of intense emotion. Like, it's what kind of a feeling, animosity, anger that goes into something like that. And most of the time, with the way that our emotions go, they're fleeting. They don't always last. Granted, there are some times when you have made a true enemy and you did not know that they were into something in a reference to any type of folk magic, any type of a ritual work, or anything of that nature, So I'm not saying it's not a full, complete no, that it's not a possibility, but 9 times out of 10, that has not taken place, that has not happened. So when things like that have taken place in our life, we will be able to know, right? There will be sickness that arise. There will be changes in our physicality, right? There will be things that we get into that we just cannot get out of, and you will know for sure that this is the case if, say, for instance, you have some type of um ailment that don't just, and you go to the doctor. Let's say you go to the doctor, you get tested, you trying to figure out what's going on, and there's absolutely nothing going on, there's no cause. Then you can lean your head towards the fact that, oh, there might be something here. But at the same time, there is something called ascension symptoms. And ascension symptoms happen when you are elevating consciously within your life. When our mind changes, when our emotions grow, when we expand within what it is that we know, this literally affects us physically. It affects our nervous system, okay? It affects our bodily functions as well, because our mind, as our mind being the co-creator, no, that's not the word. I can't think of the word. Starts with the C. The what's the word? It was just on my mouth. It doesn't matter. Our mind plays a big role in how it is that our body works. The body mind relationship is pretty much first and foremost what we want to acknowledge, right, when things are going on within our body. Because if you've ever read the Course of Miracles, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. But in the Course of Miracles, it talks about that. It talks a lot about healing in the body, and healing being a thing that is certain. And when there is something going on within the body, it is because the mind is in error, and it is in changing the mind, connecting with the Holy Spirit, right, and allowing Christ to come in and kind of guide you in a sense. It is when the atonement takes place, and it pushes out the thought patterns, the ideas, the way the mind is flowing, and heals the body. Some people might not believe in that, but it's true. I've seen proof of it time and time again. So with that, there are a lot of things to consider, but I wanted to let you know that you most likely have not been hexed, if that is something that you are considering. A lot of times we have to wake up and take responsibility for our life, take responsibility for where we are, right? What it is that we have been doing that has, like, paying attention to the steps it is that have been taken, and if they align with what is being expressed within our current reality, right? This is a means of crossing oneself up, okay? Having negative thought patterns, holding on to emotions that are just truly outdated, just being in a really deep state of grief, depression, just denial, even like not being able to admit the truth to oneself about anything can really twist up your energetic composition within your body and how it responds to any and everything, right? So, and even in your life, we are always within a vortex of energy, right? And we are magnets, right? So the thing about manifestation and us being a magnet, our magnetism never cuts off. What it is that we're magnetic towards, or what's magnetic toward us, has a lot to do with where it is that we are in our mind, where it is that we are within our feelings, okay? And this is a lot of what I was talking about in that emotional wellness video, paying attention to where it is that we are with how we feeling about a thing, how we feeling about a person. And sometimes even the people who we surround ourselves with play a big role in our ability to have a full prosperous life. Like, you can love somebody, but if they are not, if you're around people who are always, um why the words don't want to come, if you are always around people who like belittle you, down talk you, like be real snickery and snidey toward you, or even if they, the slugs, and it's not just a joke, but even some people joke and they come in from a very serious place, right? It's very important for you to be able to read the people around you to recognize whether or not that's who you need to be. And sometimes the people around you's energies can be something that influences a crossing within your life, right? Because what they got going on, how they thinking, how they feeling, what they expressing to you, how you absorbing that, what you are doing with that, whether you're getting rid of it with out of your system, with out of your auric field, out of your nature, even, it all plays a role and has to do with how things are manifesting for life. So that's where we really have to be accountable and responsible for ourselves and the choices that we make and what we go about doing, because I can't even lie. People are 9 times out of 10 not wasting their time hexing you. Granted, people, of course, can be throwing evil eye. They can be sending you negative thoughts. They can be sending you hatred your way. But that is not a hex. That kind of thing can be easily blocked. That kind of thing can be easily pushed up out of your field, right? It can easily be negated by your own personal power, because we are powerful enough to stop whatever it is somebody's trying to throw our way. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's a real statement. It's a real statement, and it is a real thing. You hold the power within your life to be able to live fully. And if you in a space of feeling like that, you are around people who might possibly do something like that to you, I highly recommend you get the hell away from these people. Okay, I don't know who they are in your life, but if you're watching this and you're thinking about that, then that's your cue, like, not them, right? That's not the place it is, the environment it is that you want to have yourself in, right? So self-care, focus on cultivating your joy, your happiness. Okay, what else do I have here? Forgiveness, forgiving yourself for past things, forgiving others for past things, walking in an attitude of gratitude. Okay, what is this? Having a sense of awe, like excitement, like, oh my goodness, right? Allowing awe-inspiring things to come into your world, which shows up. Y'all should read the Course in Miracles, okay? Because it speaks all about the awe, right? Being in a state of awe. The awe-inspiring experiences, they are usually happen in our life from our connection to higher, from our openness to healing, to the Holy Spirit. You can call the Holy Spirit whatever you want to call it. That's the term that I'm using here. Okay, so yes, this is also having a sense of wonder, being curious. Can you be curious instead of being judgmental, right? Instead of assuming and already making your mind up about something, right? Because that as well puts you in a space of like that Ten of Swords space. If you already think you know about something that's going to be experienced, it is highly possible that it may manifest in that way. Most of the time, it probably will manifest that way, especially if you like have your mind made up, right? Because the universe want to give you a reason to say I told you so. Like, it's just vibing off of your vibe, so it's really important to cultivate a sense of openness. Like, oh, I wonder what's there. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Like, well, what's going on with me? What am I doing in my life, right? Like, how am I expressing my energy? What space is it that I am rooted in, right? That is projecting itself from me, and what my openness to receive, what is that bringing in for me? Okay, so also cultivating a sense of compassion, more than anything, a space of compassion for yourself. We gonna mess up, all right? Mistakes gonna happen. Like we not gonna turn stuff in on time, all right? We might break a glass, okay? We might catch an attitude with a friend when they didn't deserve it, or a parent when they didn't deserve it, or maybe we might respond to our child in a way that they didn't deserve it. And that's when self-compassion comes in. Like, recognize where you are, right? Growth is always possible, it's always happening. Okay, and love. Wait. Compassion for others too. That doesn't mean to have so much compassion for another person that you are making excuses for them when you fully see what it is that you're seeing about that person. My husband, I don't do it like I used to. He used to be calling me Johnny Cochran, because he say I used to be defending people who don't deserve to be defended, because I'll be like, oh, maybe they just had a bad day, or I'll create this whole story narrative of what could have possibly taken place and how the person got to where they are in their whole childhood situation. Like, I'm gonna go deep within it, okay? And he's just like, absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. They don't deserve that, and you need to be okay with the fact that they don't deserve that. But the way my compassion is set up, the way my empathy is set up, sometimes I do be supporting the wrong people. And I can say that since I was a young girl. Okay, so enough about me. Also, love, self-love. What kind of self-love are you giving to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? How are you nurturing yourself and nourishing yourself? How are you caring for your body? How are you caring for your mind? What are you absorbing? What are you listening to? Like, I'm not saying you can't listen to your favorite music and everything like that, but it's really important to listen to things that uplift you, that bring your vibe up, and not in a sense of I need to suppress this, but something to honor your joyful state, your happiness, your sense of self, your vitality, your ability to thrive, because if we're constantly in a cyclical way of being and doing, it's going to just continue to manifest the same result over and over and over. And it's really important that we open up, that we're willing to feed ourselves with what it is that we deserve, because we all deserve goodness. We all deserve to feel good, to feel grounded, to feel stable within ourselves, and solid and confident and sure of ourselves. Okay, so what else? You can do different things like meditations and spending time in nature and in solitude, and really just putting a pause on how it is that things have been going, so they can go in a different route, a different way. Getting to know oneself, that is probably one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself in changing your reality, right? I'm sorry, no one probably hexed you. No one. It's important to accept that sometimes we just not living in accordance how we need to be living for what we want our life to be. We can't be in a space of blaming our reality, our existence, our problems on other people. We can't be in a space, or I can't say we can't, like, if that's what you choose, cool, all right, but I'm talking to people who don't want that, right? So we can't be signing up to be professional victims. Like, no, it's not happening. It's just, it's not. Like I say, things gonna happen. but we always have a way. We always have the means to heal, to grow, to live, to love again and again and again. Okay, to see ourselves and love ourselves, to love others, you know, to feel joy and true happiness, to be connected to our sense of innocence and heal, right? Let ourselves heal. Okay, so I'm gonna close this out and say, in the event you have felt like that you have been hexed, I want you to first stop and take a consult with yourself and write some things down. Write a list of things down that is going wrong in your life, and then write down what's going right in your life. And look at that list of what's going wrong in your life. And when you take a look at that, below it, write down things that you do every day and see if any of those correlate to the things that you do every day. Can they become an extension or become an expression of the bad things that are happening in your life? If not, all right, maybe you need a hex uncrossing, right? Maybe you need a to get your energy cleared. All right, maybe you need a cleansing or something. But most of the time, pretty much all the time, we are needing to take responsibility for ourselves and do what it is that we need to do so that we can live those full, thriving, and beautiful lives that we want, that we see fit for ourselves. Okay, so yeah, y'all, I just had that quick message come through while we was in our meditation and everything. I hope this is helpful for somebody. If you need someone to talk about your circumstances of what's going on, definitely hit me up. Check out the link below, book a consultation. We can text it up, we can chat it up, or I can just do a reading for you. However, but yes, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. It's Thursday. Happy Jupiter Day. I hope your Venus day is beautiful and bountiful, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye. And don't forget to book your spot for June's Ancestral Veneration class, where we'll be gathering together to connect and honor the presence and essence of our ancestors and learn some practical and useful tools